So here is the calorie calculator, and I'm just going to give you a demonstration of how to set it up for the Look Like You Live challenge. So the first thing we're going to do is fill out the information over here on this side of the screen. So I'm just going to fill this out as if it was myself. So first of all, gender, select from the drop down list there. Height, enter in centimeters. Weight, you put in kilos. Age there, and then select the current activity level from the drop down list. So as you can see underneath here, I've put some descriptions of activity levels and what they mean. Just choose the one that's most relevant to you. And this will calculate your BMR. So this is your basal metabolic rate, and this is the number of calories that your body requires per day in order to maintain its current body weight. But that doesn't factor into account activity. Below is your maintenance calories. Now this does factor into account activity. So you can see here, if I increase my activity levels, this goes up, and if I decrease my my activity levels, my maintenance calories goes down. Okay, so during the Look Like You Live challenge, I'm going to assume you'll be at least moderate, and we then need to put you into calorie deficits. That means we need to be working at less than 100% of your maintenance. And underneath here, I've given some guidelines. Of course, these can be adjusted according to results. So if moderate, if my activity levels are moderate, I'll be working at around 70% of my maintenance calories, and that comes to a total of 2,170 calories. So this is my daily calorie goal, and this is what I'm going to be sticking to for the duration of the challenge. This is quite low, but I do want to point out the challenge is only 2 weeks long, so this is not a long-term fat loss strategy. This is short-term only, so this means we can have a bigger deficit than what would normally be recommended for fat loss. From there, I'm going to work out macronutrient quantities. So the first one I'm going to do is protein, and protein is going to be based on body weight. So I'm going to go for a slightly higher protein intake of 2.2 grams per kilo, and this tells me now that 40% of my calories are going to come from protein, and this equates to 218 grams. Underneath that, we're going to then do carbohydrate, and carbohydrate is going to be based on activity levels. In the nutrition guide, I have given some guidelines of what percentage to go for according to how active you are. At a moderate activity level here, I'm going to go for maybe a moderate carbohydrate intake, so I'll maybe go for around 30% of my calories coming from carbohydrates, and this comes to 163 grams of carbs a day. And then finally, the remaining calories are going to come from fat. So what we need is this number here to equal 100. So I'm just going to bump that up by 1%, and this now comes to 100. So all these add up, and 30% of my calories are going to come from fat, and that equates to 72 grams. So what you then do is take these numbers and put them into MyFitnessPal. If you're using the basic version, you may need to round up or down to the nearest 5 in order to make them work. And that will change the quantities, your daily calories, and the macronutrient quantities slightly, but don't worry too much about being too precise. Just put what you have in there and use that as a starting point, because you can adjust these according to results. Okay, so give that a go. Any questions, let me know in the Facebook group or drop me a message, and I'll help you out. This is very simple and straightforward to use. If you stick to the numbers that your calorie calculator generates, then I can guarantee you will lose body fat during the challenge.